Hey, 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 what is up? What's happening? I'm super excited to be on here. We got another leader interview, and this one is going to be exciting. I love watching this guy. I love spending time with this young man. He's amazing. And, he has been a top earner. He's been a number one earner. He's been a company exec. He has all kinds of experience in the network marketing space. And I know he's going to share a lot of wisdom with you. And I'm super excited to bring him on shortly. If you're coming on, drop me a comment. Let me give some quick shout outs. What's up, Joe and John and Suzanne? What's happening? Happy Thursday. And also, if you're hopping on here, just a reminder that tonight I'm going to be doing a free training at 9 p.m. Eastern on what I see as the fastest way to grow your network marketing business on social media. And you can register for that at higdongroup.com/training. You can invite your team to that if you would like. And that's tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. What's up, Tina, Ashley, Ray, Anid? Am I saying that right? Carrie, Tara. Is it Darrell or Daryl? I don't know. Sorry. Tamara. What's up? Charisse, John P. Moving to the new house. So we're set to close next week. And then the week after is probably when we're going to be moving in. All right. Jessica in the house. Judy. Yeah. All right. So again, help me welcome this amazing, amazing brother of mine. He has, again, been a top earner, been a number one income earner, been a company exec. A lot of wisdom from this guy. And he came from very, very humble background, he's been through a lot of stuff like so many of us. And please help me welcome Austin Zulauf. Austin Zulauf in the house.
Yay! What's up, brother? How's it going?
Good, man. I'm glad to have you on here, man. How you been?
Best day of my life, same as always. It's a pleasure always whenever I can be in the presence of the Higdon.
Oh, man. Too kind. So talk to us a little bit about how, for those that may not know you on here, there might be two people on the internet that don't know you. How did you get introduced to network marketing? I'm just curious. I always like to ask this question.
So it's a funny story. So I had lost everything to my name and end up progressively going from homeless, sleeping couch to couch, eating at the canned food drive at the Salvation Army, to being humble enough to move back in with my mom. It's funny that I would rather sleep couch to couch and then move back. It was just something about me. It was like waving the white flag, moving back in with mom. And so I had sold everything. I was on her computer. And then one day I found a guy on Facebook that just looked like he was doing well. And we always say, we're looking for people that are looking for us. And there's always people looking for us, even if we don't know them. So I didn't know this guy. He just looked like he was doing well. And his Facebook profile said Diamond Executive at such and such company, which I didn't know what the company was. I didn't know what a Diamond Executive was, but it sounded fancy. And he looked the part. And I reached out to him and he hit me with the old, if I were to send you a little info, when would you get a chance to check it out? And that's how I got started. I didn't know the guy. I was really bad at first. I sold everything I had to get involved in network marketing. And turned out it worked out okay.
Yeah. What I'm just curious, just to take us back a little bit before that, what had something happen to make you lose everything? Like, for me, most people know the real estate crash knocked me out. Was there something that happened to you that knocked you out of your game?
Yeah, there was. Matter of fact, so from age 12 to 19, I was doing hard-headed stuff, in the streets and all that good stuff. And then when I was 19, I got involved in corporate America with combined insurance companies selling insurance door to door, store to store. Well, when the company founder died, W Clement Stone, there was a corporate restructuring, and I was in an executive role at the time. I was their divisional sales trainer. And that corporate restructuring meant that I was out of a job. So if you've ever been fired or laid off, drop a 1 in the comments section. And if you know someone that has, drop a 2. That'd be good. I want to know how many people have either been fired or laid off. I bet you it's most people. And so whenever there was that corporate restructuring, I put my resume out there because I had trained tens of thousands of people how to be happy, fulfilled, and successful. But this was around 2008. And if you remember, we were in the middle of a recession and no one gave a darn whatsoever how beautiful my resume was. And so I wound up in factories for about 2 years. And it took me about a year or so in network marketing of like busting my tail night and day to double my full-time income. And so, yeah, that's what got me in, and kind of the backstory of how I lost everything. I went from about 20 grand a month to 20 grand a year. So if you cut your income in 1/12, there's struggle. So
yeah, it's a very similar situation I had with real estate. What would you say? So you said you went, you doubled your income in about a year.
Yeah.
What were you doing? Like what were the steps that you were taking back then?
So it's interesting. What prevents a lot of people from getting involved in network marketing is the same reason why a lot of people get involved in network marketing. They don't have enough time or they don't have enough money. So a lot of people, that's what holds them back. And for me, that's why I wanted to get involved. I worked 4:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. 7 days a week. Okay. And that was 12 hours.
That was the factory job?
That was the factory job.
Yeah.
And it was a company named Hitachi. I'm pretty sure that's Japanese for dungeon. And so I worked 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, but I had a 30-minute lunch break at 11 p.m. So my whole purpose on life was to get three-way calls scheduled for 11 p.m. And then when I got off at 5 or 7 a.m., message as many people as I could, text people, email, and set myself up for a couple hours before I went into work, because you weren't allowed to have your phone on the floor, even though I did. And I was doing call after call while I was getting dressed, while I was driving to work. So time management was huge for me.
Yeah, no, for sure. After real estate, before, what got me into real estate was similar to your thing, is I was just maximizing my breaks. And I do think, and I love what you said, the same reason people don't get involved, same reason people do, is you either recognize the problem that you don't have, time and freedom, and you do something about it, or you just use that as the excuse I'm just going to cling to the rest of my life and never do anything about it. And so that's a really good point. The person starting out today versus 10 years ago or whenever, there's so many options, right? You got TikTok, you got Instagram Reels, you got all these different things, and a lot of people, Clubhouse, right? A lot of people are they come into this industry and maybe are confused on what to do. How would you instruct somebody if they were starting today from scratch, didn't know anything, had never been in network marketing before? What would you tell them to do if they really were serious about success?
That's a good question. So I'm not on TikTok. I'm barely on social media, to be honest with you. And so there was a gentleman that I know that earned 9 figures in the direct selling profession, not all of it in network marketing, most of it not. And I was standing in his 34-car garage in Virginia one day, and I asked him a question. I said, what's one key that I can take with me and pass on that attributed to your 9 figures in total earnings that I'm aware of? And he was just as country as could be. He said, everything works a little, nothing works a lot. And I agree with half that statement. Everything works a little. And what I took from that is I became, I studied offline prospecting. I got on YouTube. I got on LinkedIn, Facebook, at the time, Google+. I started blogging a little bit. And I remember someone telling me, everywhere I look, there you are. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. And so I would say that could be a double-edged sword. It could be overwhelming, and it could help. It could be frustrating. You could be a jack of all trades, master of none.
Right.
But I would say as long as you're doing 3 things every single day, your business will grow. It's the same 3 things that I ask people to focus on if I'm an accountability partner. Number 1 is grow your network every single day. and have at least an ice-breaking conversation with someone new, and track all these people. Don't pitch them right out of the gate. I mean, just have an ice-breaking conversation and grow your network. Second thing is make sure you're getting people in front of the information with an appointment to follow up. And I don't even count it if you don't have the appointment to follow up. And also, by the way, they don't get information from me if I don't have the appointment first. And the third is how many people did you put in a decision-making situation? And because a lot of times the point of each exposure, obviously, as you know, isn't to close the person, it's to get them to the next exposure, is to continue the conversation. So I would say if you're just focused on those three things, growing your network, getting people in front of the information and putting people in front of a decision-making situation, those three things will grow your business every single day. Just keep it simple and do those three things. That would be my advice. Consistency is key.
Yeah. And, I bet there's some people on here that feel like, you know what, I'm growing my network, but they're just never putting people in a decision-making situation. And I know some people, from just, doing this, and you've been in this a lot too, from talking to people, sometimes, you'll ask someone, and well, hey, have you at least told your warm market about it? Have you asked your friends and family? And a lot of times the answer I'll get is, well, they see me post about it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's not the same thing, and a lot of the people that know you, they think your posts are for somebody else, because if you really cared, you would ask them directly.
Right.
And so, I've seen that over and over, where people feel like they're working really, really hard, but they're never they're never asking the question. Hey, you open and take a look, or, hey, did you get a chance to look at that? Or, hey, is this something you want to move forward with? They're never putting them in that situation. What would you recommend to help people really hone in on that and get better at that?
Well, funny story real quick. There's a guy that you and I both know, prominent figure in the network marketing space. He makes over 300 grand a month in one company. So, I mean, and I know what you're thinking, folks, 300 grand a month wouldn't pay all your bills, but it's a good start, right? So this guy's doing great.
Think about it.
Right. This guy's doing great, but he's never talked to his family about what he does. And I recruited his uncle into a company at one point in time. And so what you're saying is absolutely true. A lot of times people just overlook certain people in their warm market, and they prejudge folks. So to answer your question, here's what I would say. Network marketing is a profession. Okay. Hobbies cost money. So hopefully you're not doing it as a hobby. It's a profession, even if you're just doing it an hour a day. It's a profession. You're the professional. So you have to guide your prospects, your guests, your people to the next step. You're the tour guide on this journey. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, duplication starts the moment you prospect somebody. So keep it simple. And then while you're guiding them through this process, they need to know the next step, and you're the professional, just like a doctor or, an attorney or anything you view as a profession. You look to that person as the professional, and they guide you to the next step. And because you view them as a professional and they conducted themselves as such, each step you're following right along. They're guiding you, you're following. That's what I would say.
Yeah. What, so someone gets, because I know you have some unique stuff that I've heard you say over the years. When you get that person that you've put them in a decision-making, situation, they decide to join, they're ready to rock and roll. Where do you go from there? How do you continue to guide them?
Yeah, that's actually when the job starts. So a lot of people, they work really hard to get that person recruited, and they never really sponsor them. And what I mean is they'll get someone in, and I can't tell you how many times I've talked to somebody and they said, oh, my sponsor, they recruited me. We talked every day. And then, they moved on to the next, and I haven't heard from them since. And, I was in their wedding, and now they're on their third wedding. I didn't get a chance to go to the last two. So, the important part is whenever they get started, now you have to get them to their first paycheck. You are partially responsible for their well-being in this profession and their guidance, even though it is up to them to do the work, you are responsible to help guide them and coach them along. And so one thing that I've noticed that is really, really helpful is your getting started training, you're getting started checklist, you're getting started orientation, whatever you want to call it.
Start or welcome training.
Yeah. So I did a training a couple years ago called the 4 pillars of duplication. Pillar number 1 is your getting started system, whatever that may be. And it should be, in my mind, a system that lays the foundation for them to treat their business like a business and focus on the right things. And it should be, in my opinion, checklist style, where they do this, 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 the foundation is set. And then if they do this, this, and this, now they've got their first paycheck. And then when they introduce people, they pass that along, and then so you're getting people plugged in, you're getting people trained right, you're giving them direction. And then if you get them a paycheck within their first 30 days, you just buy yourself another 90 days, so you can continually just, push them around the campfire and that sort of thing. So guidance is very important. A confused mind does nothing, right?
Right. So that was pillar 1, right? What are the other 3 pillars?
So pillar 2, I believe is, I train on getting started system the most. I know that one of the pillars was setting the right example, and I talk about how to set the right example with consistency and different stuff. I know the last pillar was taprooting, which I've always referred to as the secret to 7-figure earners. I've never been the top recruiter in any company, but I've been the number 1 income earner in 3, and taprooting has been a big key. Honestly, I don't remember what the second pillar of duplication was. I'd probably know if you didn't ask me, but
right. You sprung the 4 points.
I came up with it and I don't remember it. I know, number 1 was the getting started.
That's a secret. You have to tune in to the next interview for number 2.
That's right. I did that on purpose. And on number 3, setting the right example. Number 4 is taprooting. So
So I'm curious, because I'm sure someone here are wondering this, is let's say you got this great fast start. It's a checklist. It's awesome. It's great. You're reaching out to your person, and they're just not doing anything. They're just not. They don't even watch the fast start. They're not reaching out to anyone. They're not plugging into the training that they promised they would do. What do you do there? How do you handle that?
Yeah, so
I know that rarely happens, but if in the mere chance it did.
Right. So that will happen. For those of you all that don't watch Ray Higdon every single day like you should, that was sarcasm. That was Ray's sarcasm. So that's going to happen, first of all, no matter who you are, how good you are. People are going to ghost you. They're going to, which that's a different question. But for me, I break down success in network marketing to a mathematical formula. How many hours per week do you have to devote to getting what you want out of the profession, your goal, your why, realistically? And it's understanding what kind of times there are, production time and preparation time. And then how many people can you get in front of the information per hour with an appointment to follow up? And I'm completely emotionally disconnected from whether or not they buy or join or whatever. Whenever they aren't responding, I have on my phone on a notepad every person I talk to in the business, their name. As soon as I get them in front of the information, they go in the notepad. I don't use a fancy CRM system. I know it's old school to use a smartphone notepad to track the people, but I simply move on, and they'll continue. I might drip on them here and there just by continuing the conversation. Just, hey, Ray, what's up, man? It's been forever. I saw that you guys just got back from the Keys. Looked like fun, man. Hope to catch up soon. Stuff like that. And then, the next actual conversation we have, I might pepper in the business. But trust me, if you've gotten them in front of the information or even attempted, they're watching, they're paying attention. So what I would advise is stick with the company, stick with the activities, stick and stay. Those that stick with it, stay in the activities. Those that stick and stay get the pay. And if you're taking notes, those that stick and stay get the pay. So stick with the activities, and don't harp on that one person either, because you need people, but you don't need any one person. And if you sit there and bug that person to death, you look desperate, you got commission breath, they won't want to mess with you. Just move on.
Right.
That's what I would say.
So Patty has a question. I know the answer, but I'm happy to hear it from you. Patty says, what is taprooting, or whatever he was saying? Right. You got it right. He was saying taprooting.
With my accent, it can be hard to tell sometimes. So taprooting, so I have a little ebb and flow of whenever I'm building, and I'll throw taprooting into there, and I'll tell you what my little ebb and flow is. And Ray could probably tell you better than I could, how he taproots, especially. I'm very effective. So initially, whenever I partner with a business, I'm going to launch, right? Amateurs join a business, professionals launch a business. So initially, I want to create a story that I can use and that other people can use when they're building the business. So I want to launch with all out massive action, a MAP, M-A-P, a massive action plan. The first
campaign. It's like we're going to drive this campaign.
I'm talking about like the first week, sleep is for customers, you know what I'm saying? And the first month, same deal. So the first 90 days, really, I'm going hard as I possibly can. And I'm bringing in a class of people, right? Now, as I bring people in, let's say that I sponsor Patty. Okay. So let's say that I sponsor Patty. Now I'm going to help Patty launch her business, right? Because I'm sort of responsible for her well-being in this company now. And whenever we help her launch her business, then let's say Patty sponsors Ray. Okay. Patty, you're lucky enough to sponsor a Ray. And so now I'm going to work with Ray, Patty's personals. I'm going to ask permission first. Hey, Patty, is it cool if you and I get with Ray and help him launch his business? And then I help Ray launch his business. Ray sponsors Jess. And now I'm going to work with Jess, and I work level by level by level by level. Jess sponsors Steve. I help Steve launch his business. Here's what happens with that though. I'm going to take Patty along the way, every level down with me. Okay. So she can see.
She's learning.
She's learning. I'm setting the right example. We learn by repetition. I'm setting the right example. And guess who's making money? Steve's making money because I helped him launch his business. Jess, Ray, Patty, and so am I. What do you think my retention rate is if everybody up the line is making money and we're creating that duplication? So taprooting is something that I have a buddy of mine. He also makes a little bit over $200,000 a month. You know him, Jeff Altgilbers. That name has always tripped me up. Yeah. One of his big secrets is taprooting. That's his big thing.
And just, for the most basic definition, it's just being willing to work with people that you didn't personally sponsor, but it's in your team, right? Just, taprooting, going in there. And there, I saw it a lot of times where, the person that maybe I recruited a couple people, then kind of fell off or whatever, but a couple of people they recruited were serious. If you only limit yourself to, I only work with my personal recruits, then, you're definitely missing out on some opportunity there for sure.
Yeah. And I would say also, I don't work with just my team. I've never built a team. I've always built a company. So if I'm building a company and the company's winning, then I'm winning, my team's winning.
Nice.
And no one knows about the future either. So, I mean, you work with a company, it benefits everybody, and it really benefits you, in my opinion.
Nice. So I saw two other comments. Marla likes your beard.
Oh, thank you so much.
And Chris Hussey says, love these guys. What's up, Chris?
That's my boy.
There he is. That's awesome. Well, Well, Austin, this was fantastic, man. What are some? I know that you have just a ton of wisdom. What are some books that you've loved over the years that have helped you along?
Yeah. So speaking about ton of wisdom, there's this guy, Ray Higdon, that you guys should check out. He's the one with the ton of wisdom. I think one of the best things I did in my career in 2017 was get Ray as a coach, and just a phenomenal guy. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Although, speaking of that, we got this comment too. I'm a little disturbed by this one. I don't see Ray's book on that bookshelf. He's got pretty good eyes because I can't tell what books those are. But boom, nice.
Yeah, sorry. I had to prove. We do have Ray's book. So one of the many Ray Higdon books, but we do have that one. I feel like I've got another one. This isn't the all-inclusive bookshelf. I actually have another bookshelf in my bedroom, but yeah, I do have a Ray Higdon book. So my favorite personal development book of all time that I feel has helped me more than anything I never hear anyone talk about is by Lao Tzu, which is spelled Laotzu, and it's called the Tao Te Ching. And I know that sounds crazy. Taote Ching, Ching. So
how has that helped you? I've heard of that book and I've read some of Lao Tzu, but I haven't read that one.
Yeah. So Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War, and Lao Tzu, very different people. So, so the book Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu is that the book where he was escaping China and the guard trapped him and made him give him his secrets before he'd let him out of the country? That was in fact that book. Yeah.
Knew it. Yeah.
I
haven't read it, but I know the story of it.
That's interesting that you know that story too. So Lao Tzu, so that book, the Tao Te Ching, I'm on a constant journey, not for happiness. I know a lot of people seek happiness. I seek peace. And so I'm on a constant journey for self-discovery and self-mastery, because if you don't master your emotions, ultimately they will control you and could potentially ruin you. Even in Robert Greene's book, one of my favorites, The 48 Laws of Power, the first law, the premise of the whole thing is to gain mastery over your emotions.
Right. And
in network marketing, especially when you play at a high level and you deal with people doing all types of stuff, then it's important that you stay off of the emotional roller coaster, and that you understand that things are never as good as they seem. They're never as bad as they seem. Just I try to stay even keel. So Tao Te Ching has helped me with self-mastery. It's helped me to stay off the emotional roller coaster. It has helped me tremendously with emotionally detaching myself from the outcome and focusing on the things that I can control, and also understanding that it's also best to focus on the whole, as in everybody, not just yourself.
That's awesome, man. I've never heard someone reference that book. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna check it out.
That is by far my favorite. I actually listened to it on Audible, and I mean, there's tons of good books I could recommend. The Untethered Soul is a great one. Principles by Ray Dalio. I mean, anything by Ryan Holiday. Anything by Ryan Holiday.
I love Ryan Holiday. His books are amazing. Ego is the Enemy, and what was the other one I liked?
I love
The Obstacle is the Way. Just great stuff.
Yeah, he has one.
I'm curious. So you worked for W Clement Stone. Did you learn directly from him?
So the sales trainers that I got to meet W Clement Stone one time in person. Okay. My mom started working for Combined when I was 12. And so I was brought up around all these people like Zig Ziglar, W Clement Stone. I had no idea who these old guys were, but it was ingrained in me, apparently. And if you were a sales trainer with Combined Insurance, which I was one of the few sales trainers, I was the second youngest in their company's 100-something year history.
Nice.
The youngest was 2 weeks younger than me, and he went on to be the president of the company. But
wow.
If you were a sales trainer, you were referred to as a keeper of the system. Like, you had to know everything about him, his philosophy, everything that he stood for, inside and out, frontwards and backwards, and memorize it. And so, yes, I learned directly from W Clement Stone.
That's awesome.
And he, I have to once again always take a moment to say W Clement Stone, Mr. Stone, and his philosophy made me who I am today.
It's awesome. Very, very cool. Well, man, you always keep it interesting and always so full of wisdom. I just really appreciate you, brother. Awesome. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on here. I know you got a lot of stuff going on and making it rain, and you got a lot of new fans and you got a lot of existing fans on here. And so I just really appreciate you coming out here.
I appreciate you. And folks, Ray, not only a great friend, great father, great husband, great role model, you need to at least pay attention to what he says, because he is he's an authority in the network marketing profession, I believe. And we need more like him, but it's impossible. There's only one Ray Higdon. So thanks, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Austin Zulauf, everyone, give him some love, give him some gratitude for sharing all that wisdom. I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. And again, tonight, if you want to join me, higdongroup.com/training. So appreciate it. Give this guy some love. Make sure you follow him, and we'll see you soon.